Yo, it's Real 92.3, man. Bootleg Kevin, DJ Head.
West Coast.
We have got a special guest in the building. His name is Kid Buu.
Kid Buu a demon.
What's up, man? Yo, you just turned it on, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I first saw you on the internet, and I was like, "What the fuck, man? Who is this fucking guy?
Yeah.
This
He's like, no, that's not what happened.
This off-brand little pump motherfucker coming up with I ain't gonna lie, man. I saw your shit, and I was not fucking with it, bro.
Damn.
And then you did a clone thing, and I was like, this dude is just all gimmicks, man. So change my mind, bro. You seem like a smart kid. You told us your backstory.
I mean, everything. Just know that everything you see on the internet is very well thought out, very well planned. Yeah, everything is strategically planned and placed for a particular reason, and that's to always market Kid Buu, the brand, and the music.
I mean, the clone thing was smart because it obviously went viral.
Well, that was to raise awareness for cloning. I have a friend of mine named Sophia Bridget who's currently being faced for trial for the criminalizing the act of godonizing, I think it is, which is like breaking the law of cloning someone.
Wait a minute.
Wait,
so please dive into that.
So you know somebody that privately cloned another person?
Allegedly, I can't say that she did.
Well, allegedly.
I can't say she did or did not because the case is still open.
So this girl's this is like
she's 63 years old. I've been knowing her for about 8 years now. She's a part of a movement called the Rallian Movement, and they're the founders of Clonaid, which is what she works for. Allegedly, they say that she cloned a girl named Eve about 11 years ago, and that's what they're trying to trial her for.
So, is it like a machine, or like how does that shit? I mean, I know it's not you, but I'm just saying you know more about it than I do.
Well, it's recreating the synthesis of DNA, so it's the exact same genetic structure as anything else would be. It's hard for people to wrap their mind around it because of consciousness and a soul, right?
Right.
So some people who don't want to see past that then are like, well, what is it? Is it a robot? Is it not? If you can look past that and assume that cloning is like making a copy of like a Wayne CD, like, you know what I mean?
So it's like burning a CD.
Exactly that. It's like burning a CD. But like what's really important is that you don't do like drugs and alcohol to like black out throughout your life, because then it's kind of like scratching that CD and trying to make a copy. You're not going to get all the Wayne songs. Shit, perhaps it might not even be able to read the disc. Like, you know, that's a good way to kind of like
got you.
Understand.
So you are not cloned. That was a marketing thing to bring some awareness.
I'm cloned, but after now we're allowed to talk about it. I signed an NDA at first, but now I'm allowed to openly talk about it.
So you're a clone.
Yes, sir.
So are you the clone or the OG?
I'm the clone right now.
So where's the original?
OG is chilling right now.
I think this guy's so full of shit, man.
He's chilling where he is chilling right now.
What the fuck?
He's full of shit right now.
I'm like, my
Scouts honor.
How do you know which one is which?
What do you mean? We look the same. I don't know. I get confused sometimes too.
That's crazy.
I sometimes wonder.
This guy's a really smart marketer, man.
That's great.
He knows how to market his shit.
Thank you, dog. I appreciate that a lot. It means a lot coming from you guys.
West Coast.
Oh man. So you are the clone, and did the clone start the rap career or the other guy?
Oh no, I did. He said, "Look, this is a potential in America. Go back there. I'm gonna stay here in Canada and chill. It's nice here."
So you're Canadian by you born you from?
No, he was born in Jersey.
Born from Jersey, and then how did you get to?
First gen was born in Jersey, raised in Florida. Later moved to Canada.
This is all horse shit, by the way.
To do this procedure, and now I'm here.
So okay, all right. So
what
you
the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck is going on?
Let's talk about Blind for Love too.
Yeah. No, I'm going there. So you set up shop in Canada, and then you just told us a story about how you moved down.
Yeah.
And then that's when you started the music shit.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. You were dating Blac Chyna too, right?
Yeah.
What's it like to be where every other rapper's been, besides LA, obviously?
I mean, if you listen to the Blind for Love 2 project,
I listened to it.
Yeah, you can kind of like get some hints though. If you hear it like really well in depth for the lyrics, you can tell, right? You can feel what I went through.
I feel like at times Blac Chyna is like strategic with who she sleeps with, like as far as like, I just feel like it's like I feel like as
aren't we all though?
I mean.
Nah. I know some real scumbags, dog, and they not tripping.
Shout out to Brown Boy Mines.
It's whatever with the homie. Like he just.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Nah. I just feel like, you know, there's always like, yeah. Obviously, I don't know. Are you like sad that she's with Soulja Boy now, or was it like ever like anything past you guys?
Define with.
I don't know.
I was sad spending Valentine's Day alone because like my project dropped that same day, Blind for Love 2, and I was like hoping that I wouldn't really be alone that day, and I mean I ended up being alone. So but for that day I was, but I'm not sad for Like any of my exes go on dating anybody else. It's like it's cool. It's whatever.
Were you guys like together though? Like, was that your girlfriend, or were you guys just fucking around? Like, were you guys just like hanging and banging?
No, I genuinely, was having a relationship where she's an amazing person.
You still got love for her and shit like that?
I'm blind for love right now. I'm only focused on like more music recording and everything.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, plug. I like that.
He worked that in real smooth.
When you do, there's a song. When you do a song, is it always come from motivation like that, like a relationship or experience or some shit like that?
Oh, always, yeah, or experiences that I want to experience. So like if you hear me like talking about like I don't know, like maybe like.
Because I want to
about
ask
like marble floors or something like our house. We got marble floors in our house. All right, so yeah, before I didn't have it, but I talked about it. Now I have it. So things like that about like manifestation, speaking into the distance. But like when you hear the more deep, intimate, those are definitely like past experiences, kind of like my memoirs.
I want to ask you because the song "Trust Issues." What's the motivation behind that?
Bruh, I know everyone can relate to this shit, bruh. Like I be sometimes with a female, and I'm the one that starts acting weird because like. They don't do something you want to do, you let them know, you voice that, you're like, hey, like, I appreciate it if we do this in our relationship. These are guidelines. Then they start overdoing it, and you're like, are you up to something? Like, you kind of overperforming. You're a little too good now. I don't know. I personally have, like, extreme trust issues. I'll be telling the shorty, like, I know it sounds like, literally it sounds like a cliche when you're like, yo, it's not you, it's me, but we can't be together. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, that's bullshit. It's not you, it's me. Like, you're just, you're being
Well, when you're dating Blac Chyna, you would expect that comes with some trust issues, right?
Because I figure that's where the origin of the song. Because, I mean, Misery Love Company to me was one that stood out to me, and then Trust Issues was the other one that stood out to me. I'm like, that had to have direct impact.
I wish. You got to hear I Wish.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go back and listen to that one. But okay. I figured those two to me was like, that's some Blac Chyna shit. That in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I feel you. For
sure. I saw a video where you're getting like a microchip installed in your arms.
I got that motherfucker in right now. Touch it?
I don't want to touch it, man.
You want to touch it?
Nah, I'm good.
Where's it at?
It's right here. Like a grain of rice. See it?
And what does the microchip do?
Anything and everything that is RFID technology related.
So
like
Bluetooth.
A walking iPhone?
Technically, like Bluetooth. What RFID technology is like a wireless signal tapping for like an access points. So like for you ever did tap payment somewhere?
Yeah.
That's one. Or
so you tap your hand.
In fact, your card that you guys used to get into this building is RFID technology. Right. When you're driving on the highway with your tolls, taking payment, all of this is forms of that. And in the near future, a company right now is developing. I'm going to be one of the first humans to have this installed in my body. Is a health ID card, which will tell you everything you're allergic to, what you're not allergic to, your entire breakdown of your genetic structure, like 23andMe, all on a scannable chip that can be scanned at a hospital or whatnot. So like it's expanding more with what humans can do with it, as opposed to having it in outer accessories. We can just put it within us. It's harmless.
I mean, I definitely think that's not some bullshit. I think that's where shit's going for sure.
Yeah, it's just a convenience thing, honestly.
It's really just convenience for you.
Yeah, like if we want to, we can program it to like our Range Rover, and I can just walk up because it's the fob key.
The key,
yeah, and it'll recognize that
Keyless
that's
entry.
the key ID. Yeah, instead of having the keys with you, you never lose your car key.
Do you think that isn't that direct? Well, I don't know if Kev's not religious at all, but
no.
Doesn't that have something to do with like the mark of the beast?
Honestly, like I'm not like super religious minded, but I am informed with a lot of different things with religion, and I understand what you're saying with that. In fact, I had my uncle call my mom and said, I saw your son today at church. What are you doing with my nephew? I was like, what are you talking about? He said they showed a video at church of him getting microchip. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
It was like,
they showed that.
Yeah, it was at a church, and they were like, this is truth that it's the signs of the end of the world. And I laughed, and I was like, no, it's not. Like, yes, we can use it as a form of payment. Yeah, they did kind of predict that something would be like this in the future, but perhaps the word of God was just kind of revealing to us where we would be in the future. But it's not per se a mark of a beast. Because like what beast?
Well, it's also, these are the people who believe that one man took two of every animal and put them in a fucking boat, which is obviously horseshit.
Exactly.
Take it all with a grain of salt.
I think realistically, maybe just a DNA sample of each animal, perhaps, is like you can put that like in a.
Yeah, now that makes sense.
That would make sense.
That would be practical.
And then later clone them.
The technology back then probably didn't exist for that.
Oh, sure it did. I think that's how we were put here, to be honest.
I mean,
so let me ask you this.
I believe that more than the other shit.
I see like you do a lot of like with the sixes and shit like that. Like, is that what's that about?
To my understanding, it's a number of creation. The day of creation, in fact, where you know how they say on day one, God made this, God made that.
Yeah.
Well, in the belief that I follow, it's on the 666th day that when the Elohim came to earth is where they created the first man, because it was on their journals of marking a day. So to me, that day just represents a day of creation. That's all. It's not no mark.
It's not evil and all that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So you said in your belief, what's that?
Raelianism, which is pretty much people who are the speakers of truth, true origin of where humans come from, and we believe that it comes from science base.
So you saying that? So and I just saw you just said that to Kev. Do you feel like there was some sort of like advanced species here, and then that's how we?
Yeah, and the reason why I believe that it was about 8 years ago, and I was full-blown Christian.
Right.
Like full-blown Christian. I went to a baby shower. In fact, I thought about saving this for story time for my YouTube and just never did it. But I was with my mom's boyfriend that day. Good thing, because if not, I probably would have convinced myself it never happened, which is what typically people do when something like this happens. But I was at a baby shower. I'll like thumb through real quick. I walk in the back because I feel like I'm gonna lose my balls because they're playing all these games, baby shower games.
Right. No grown straight man wants to be at a baby shower.
Yeah, so I was like, let me look in the back. She's like, I warn you, my dad's weird, but he's back there. You can hang with him. The guy's editing footage of a UFO he claims he saw the day before. I was like, well, that's interesting. I was like, the Bible says that God created other life, other places. You ever heard the story of the sower that was the farmer sowing seed?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I heard that, Mama Jumbo. Have a seat. He's like that rude, that type of like just straight boom. Well, there was a book on the chair when I went to have a seat. I moved it, and when I looked, it was a book titled Intelligent Design, and I looked at the back introductory, and it appeared to be a book hinting towards atheism. So I was like, whoa. I was like, can I ask you a question? Do you believe in God? And that was the first time anyone's looked at me and said no, but not only just no, he laughed so hard that a piece of spit flew and hit my sunglasses, and I bolted out. I got the chills. I bolted out, hauled ass home, and then I felt bad on the highway. I was like, dang, as a man of God, I should have like used the word of God to sit there and kind of like help this man. I feel like he was blinded and needs some guidance. Send me a sign, right? I believe strongly that God would send me some sort of sign. My phone rings. My mom says, can you pick up my boyfriend if you're not busy from work? I was literally like 2 exits away. We're on, at this time in Florida, going up the Florida Turnpike, near the exit of Florida Mall. So I get off the exit, I get her boyfriend Robert at the time. And it was on the way home that we both witnessed and encountered a UFO at such a close level that I heard something say that now is the time to remove the veil from the eyes of man. And that man was not needing help, but in fact, it was others around me. My mom's boyfriend said he claims he heard his brother's voice, and his brother has been missing since he was a child. That he claimed green lights took him in a mountain in Puerto Rico, and people called him crazy for years. They're like, oh, you pushed your brother off a mountain. So that was like kind of like a spiritual thing, and I was just thinking to myself, how odd. I was just praying in the car for a sign, and then I see something that ties to what I think may be that book, because it looked alien-like. So I rushed back there after dropping my mom off ecstatic, telling her what happened. She's like, it's probably a UFO or a satellite or some shit. She was like, no. So I went back. So I said, go back, get that book. The guy was like, I can't give you my book. He's like, hell no, you can't have my book, but you could download it for free. He's like, go on the site, get it, rael.org, download a free copy. So I did, and I'm not a reader, dude. I'm not a reader. I don't care. I don't give two fucks about reading. I'd rather be out chilling. I was stuck 7 days in that freaking crib, bro, like 6, 7 days, and I would not stop reading. My girlfriend was like, are you okay? Like, you're acting weird. You claim you saw UFO. Your mom called me and said you guys been acting weird. Her boyfriend's acting weird. He broke the TVs in the house and moved out. Talking about, I just did you a favor. Now the television doesn't have to tell you a vision of life and convince you you're not beautiful, and left. I was like, whoa.
That's
like,
some extreme shit.
Yeah, with some deep, I was like, whoa. And with me, it just led me out searching and researching. And I later would find the movement, the Raelian movement, and then come across, Rael and others, people like Sophia and this cloning thing. And fast forward 8 years today, and here I am. But that's how I founded all this, to be honest. It was an experience that I went through, and I'm just thankful that I wasn't alone.
So part of this is not horse shit.
No, I swear to God, it's not. Even though you get it. But one interesting thing though, when he said when I heard that voice say the removing of the veil, we take classes in Raelianism. Some of them are like Buddhist retreats, and they teach us like finances, about saving, like things like how to have better health and mental health. One of the things is learning the power of words and where the meanings derive from. Now, in the Bible, where you were saying about the chip and everything, they're talking about the apocalypse, right?
Yeah, it's very dark.
It comes from a Greek Latin word, apocalypto, which means the removal of the veil. When I heard that, I got chills and was just like, bro, like there's so much more to life than what I thought and believed. And I'm just excited to see what more there is to come.
Have you ever done any psychedelics?
I felt that question coming.
Some DMT, some.
I tried DMT once.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah, no. I tried the DMT once, and then mushrooms. I think our entire Blind for Level 1 project, I was on mushrooms.
That's, I mean,
Microdosing, of course, because they say it's like
it's kind of a crazy thing. I mean, it's crazy that all that stuff's illegal, but I mean, you know, what's your take on that? Because I feel like it kind of can.
My take on it is definitely for experienced, developed minds. Like if your brain is still developing as far as maturity goes, and you know you're young, I personally didn't. I was too scared. I was like, no fucking way do I want to see a pink elephant or even do anything like that to alter my state of mind. When I got later and understood the psychedelics and whatnot, and then learned not to abuse it, but use it for medicinal use for like meditation or something like that, or trying to create art, that was a different level. That was something different.
When you did DMT, because I know it's like intense and like quick, it's like a lot. Do you remember like anything about your experience? I know a lot of people.
The experience was honestly trying to explain it is like trying to describe the first time you ever tasted chocolate to someone. It's like really hard to put in words.
That's crazy. And
one thing that was really interesting is when I found the DMT, I had never heard nothing about it before, but I was like at a time when I did find it, I was really depressed. And I used to deal with a lot of like suicidal thoughts growing up, but I overcame that through meditation and like a lot of things like this, especially finding the Rayleigh movement to help you clear your mind and get rid of negative thoughts. So like that day I was, and this, I've never really told this story in public, to be honest, it's crazy. I had a gun in my mouth, and my girlfriend walked in at the time. And it was like getting caught jerking off to porn or cheating on your girl. It was like,
that's nothing like that, bro.
It was embarrassing. For me, it was embarrassing.
I've been caught jerking off. Shout out to my cousin's wife.
Bro.
I mean, I dropped it and I bolted out the crib. But like, interesting enough, coincidentally, someone calls me. He's like, dude, can you get me DMT? And I was like, yeah, but I didn't know what the fuck it was. So I called my homie. And he gives me the whole scoop on what it is. He's like, dude, that's like spirit molecule. Like, you experience death. And I was like, really? It's like, you know, maybe I don't want to, like, how do I really know I want to die? Maybe I could try and simulate it for 10 minutes.
That, your body produces that chemical when you're born and when you die.
Yeah, when you die. So I was like, I could do 10 minutes of it and be back, and maybe I'll know for sure if I really want to do this. I honestly think they should give this as suicidal treatment, people, because the second you do that shit and come back, you appreciate life so much more. You're like, why did I ever
say it's therapeutic?
Let me ask you, what was the reason why you wanted to end your life?
You know, when you're a teenager or you're hormonic and you freaking going through certain stuff, even anything as simple as like lack of a father figure or like being in poverty and the confusion of not being able to provide for your mom because you feel like you're not a man enough. But that's not all that's not your fault. All that pressures and stuff like that is like, that shouldn't leave someone to just call it quits thinking this is a dark world. It's in fact beautiful world. Go out there and see it. That's what I started doing. Got a passport. I started getting as far as away from my environment where I was, because that's what was keeping me that way. And I almost felt like a fish in a fishbowl, you know? And I was like, kind of got to get out. There's like a big world out there. And I got to meet people like Canada, London, Paris, like Belgium. I went to Belgium to see waffles one day, just for a fucking waffle and leave. Just to do funny shit like this.
That's
like,
rich shit.
Stories of life. You know, and it's like you said, rich, but like richer like in spirit. Or like, you know, it wasn't nothing extraordinary. It's simple. It's like a little $12 ticket.
A bag.
But I met people, and it just showed me that, man, this world is amazing. It's a beautiful world, beautiful people. I just want to live longer and connect with them and kind of share my experiences, because there's other people out there, unfortunately, just not getting that far I did.
You ever tried therapy? Like on a therapist?
I did one time. I was like, let me go and try this myself. My mom and everyone was like, no, you're okay. You're just going through what all teenagers go through. But I was like, at least let me get a day to go. And when I went, after talking with the guy, he was like, you know what? You just have the mind of a scientist, honestly. And he was like, and you're probably just in a troubled environment. You just need to occupy yourself with something, a hobby of some sort. And, writing was one of my things.
So how long have you been actually making music?
About 2-3 years now, as like or 2 years in 3 years was hobby shit, like, so I wouldn't get in trouble, keep myself busy, do some extra stuff. But I was always making my money doing affiliate marketing or digital real estate, buying websites for like $5 and upmarketing them for like 10 racks and shit.
Oh yeah.
After SEO.
That's a very slept on hustle.
Oh yeah. I still do it to this day. Even though I got the music, like we were over there. I'm over here finding the next little product that I'm gonna niche market with Amazon, and I'm not gonna say what it is.
You're an Amazon seller?
Yeah. FBA. That's like what I did before the music and stuff.
Yeah, no, me and my girl dabble in that a little bit too. So that's a cool little hustle.
The Rich Jerk. I bought that little program. I thought it was a scam, but I was like, I'll take my chances. And I learned so much from that. It's literally copy paste. I didn't even have to like really learn. I just copied everything they said to do. did it, and I was making so much. Yo, dude, you could make more money than fucking rap or whatever, doctor, all that, just in that. My grandma thought I was a drug dealer. I was like, no, grandma, what the fuck? And I'm selling no damn drugs.
Well, you don't seem like a guy who
You seem very, very, very intellectually inclined.
Yeah, but
you seem like you know exactly what the fuck you doing.
I mean, unlike a lot of your peers,
like he was saying this bullshit. I think you know exactly what you're doing.
Well, no, I didn't say he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He's a marketing genius.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
I did not say he was not smart. I think
West Coast.
I think.
What's up?
No, but I'm curious because like he was saying, like I just feel like a lot of your peers, obviously, you know, I think you get put into that little, you know, of all these Lils and SoundCloud guys. You got a Death SoundCloud record actually.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Do you what? I mean, I don't consider like weed or psychedelics drugs, but like, do you participate in any drug use or
no, absolutely not.
Opiates or anything?
No, it's against Australian rules and policies, and it'll disrupt any cloning processes in the future. So I cannot do that.
West Coast. What's up with the SoundCloud? You not fucking with?
No, I do. In fact, the reason why I did Deaf to SoundCloud was almost like when Jay-Z was kind of like, remember he was like Deaf to Auto-Tune, but he wasn't really like shitting on it. I felt like he was kind of like making a message to, because he's real hip hop. So it was like, let someone of real hip hop speak up for this Auto-Tune wave and this world where it was going to. I don't think he was really shitting on it. I think he was saying it like, Auto-Tune like is killing shit by me saying Deaf to Auto-Tune. So like Deaf to SoundCloud was me pretty much kind of take what I took from that message and give my own input on what I believe SoundCloud was. Because the second someone saw independent artists utilizing that platform, because not every kid knows about getting your shit on like all iTunes, Apple Music. They're kids, you know what I mean? But they're talented. This is an easy way. Stop shitting on them or discrediting them as being a credential artist, like creditable artist, and being talented just because they're on SoundCloud.
Rex.
So that's why I made that song like Deaf to SoundCloud, and it was like a concoction and blend of everything that you thought was hard and attractive from there. Like Kid Buu absorbed everything from that and just used that. Like that's the whole thing with my Kid Buu shit. It's like he absorbs energy. So I absorbed everything from SoundCloud that I thought was lit and fire, and was like, let me put this all into one packaged song and sound for everyone in SoundCloud. Like for everybody in SoundCloud. It was more like a representing thing. It wasn't really shitting on SoundCloud.
You say you've been making music seriously for about 2 years, right?
Well, seriously since January. When I moved in with those guys, I was like, I'm taking it serious.
Who would you consider some of your influences? Because like
Lil Wayne.
Wayne.
Everybody's Wayne. Every fucking body is Lil Wayne, and I stand by that shit, bro.
Oh no, that's definitely true.
No.
On God.
Expand on that.
Everyone is Lil Wayne from and if you say, oh, Wayne, I ain't look up to Wayne because I was born 94 or 95, so I can't look up to Wayne. I look up to this artist. Well, that artist I'm sure looked up to Wayne. So by default, you're Wayne. Like you got tats on your face, you're Wayne. You got bling on, you're Wayne. You're fucking
sparkly ass belts.
Yeah, exactly. You BB Simon, you're Wayne. Like everything is Wayne. Your voice is anywhat slightly altered to not be man-like and more like however it is. You're like if you're afraid to hit puberty type shit, you're Wayne. I don't know. Everybody's Wayne. I feel like everybody's fucking Wayne. I grew up when I was a kid.
Especially right now.
I want to grow up to be Wayne when I was a kid.
No, right now that's factual. I feel like a lot of
when Thugger came out, he was like an extension of Wayne.
Yeah.
And now there's other artists, like Thugger's amazing fucking artist, and he's got other amazing artists under him that are just as dope, like Gunna and shit. And then you see like your babies, and like there's just so much different sounds. Even Lil Keed, right? It's all like it comes and stems from tree. Like the Wayne, like what I said earlier of the burning of the CD. We're all just copies of Wayne. We're all like clones of Wayne, pretty much.
Do you think so? Where would you put Wayne in your top 5?
Number 1, bro. He's God. He's a GOAT. Like if there was no Wayne, what would somebody say for Bling? Like they started that word.
Well, BG started that actually.
Man, you know what I mean, bro.
But that's true though. Shout out to BG.
Money,
no, Cash Money. But yeah, that was BG.
That was a squad team.
I feel you. I'm not mad at that. Did you get tattoos before or after the rap?
Oh, before. Oh, no, I was a youth tatted. At 13, I got my name here, and then just was like, that was like a thing though. In Miami, you start,
of course,
face up, and then go.
You
down.
start from the face, and then
you start face up, then down. So like
damn.
Through, then back down.
Fuck. What's the most painful tattoo you have?
Oh, rib cage. I was saying that earlier. I passed out. I was like,
you passed out.
14 years old, and dude, I wanted rib cage. He put it like my hip and in my armpit, and I was like, no, that's too big. He was like, well, you're gonna grow up, and it's gonna shrink. Trust me. I passed out. It's because I was holding my breath.
So you blacked out?
Yeah, so I literally blacked out. And he woke me up when you're done. When I was done, he was like, "You're done, bub. Get out of here."
He woke you up when you were finished.
Yeah.
Wait, how old were you?
But I know,
the fuck?
14.
Oh, that sounds like a very that sounds like a suspect ass tattoo shop. 14-year-old kid passes out.
I was
Like,
visiting my dad. I was visiting my dad in Tampa because he lived in Tampa. He go to Miami.
I lived in Tampa for a few years.
Yeah. I was in Belmont Heights. There was a tattoo parlor right
Some
there.
Some shaky ass tattoo parlors in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, but they got the 2-for-1.
The 2-for.
So you pay, I paid $120.
There's certain things you don't want the 2-for on.
Hell no.
I got my elbow with the spider web, but it came out dope.
2 tattoos for the price of 1. 2 prostitutes for the price of 1. I'm good.
120, bro.
I'm good.
2 prostitutes for the price. I'm married. Anyway.
Oh, you said prostitute. Oh, shit, I didn't have that.
How old are you anyway?
Me and 30.
You're 30?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you got the youth juice.
Well, when I got cloned, I told him, I was like, man, make me 23 forever.
Bro. All right.
All right, so you 23 or 30? Okay, how about this? The guy who's okay. See, this is where we get into the horse shit.
I'm 30 with 23,
Listen, man,
23-year-old jeans.
He knows what the fuck he's doing.
I know he knows what he's doing, but it don't make it that it don't mean it's not horse shit.
It's not horse shit. It's only horse shit if the person doesn't know what they're doing.
That's not true. That's not true.
Why?
The fucking the dude who just set up his fucking beating knew what he was doing.
I don't got no.
But I could use horse shit.
I don't got no comment.
Jesse Smollett.
I could use horse shit as manure to fertilize some outdoor weed and get high off the weed.
Factual.
So horse shit is good.
Listen, man, it's working for you, right?
See, he's a botanist.
I'll call it horse shit kush.
So
it's fucking stupid, bro.
Yo, man. So the album is out. We're calling it a mixtape or an album.
EP.
Okay.
EP. The 6 joints on
You're
there.
obviously named after the Dragon Ball character.
Yeah, Kid Buu.
What is your take on? Because I feel like nowadays, the anime thing is cool now. There's a lot of people who all of a sudden fuck with Dragon Ball that definitely weren't fucking with Dragon Ball.
You're welcome. On God, because they even dropped. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they blowing smoke up my ass, but they just dropped the movie that they dropped 15 years ago. Suddenly want to drop it again.
But so you're taking credit for that?
Not. I feel like not credit for it. Okay, here's a go. Let me just go back. I feel like companies like that, especially the people over there. The way I notice we're working with Asians or Japanese or even Arabics. I notice when I work with these individuals, their tech area is really they watch everything. So if an algorithm starts to grow, they're like, hey, let's go right this way. There's money here. Kid Boo's algorithm, originally when I first started, you would type it and only see DBZ and cartoons. Now I try to find the cartoon to look for, even clips. It's all me. It's hard to even find freaking cartoon now. So I feel like the algorithm was growing collectively again, and maybe they saw something there and was like, let's start pushing product again.
Were you worried about getting sued for having that name?
No, not at all. I mean, right off the back, we had support from people who work direct with Funimation manufacturing stuff. And even Martin himself, Mr. Martin, who does the voice for Boo, we have support with him. He wants to come to the studio record with us. He, in fact, did the voice for Barney, too.
Word?
Yeah, that's a fun fact.
Really?
He did the voice for Barney as well, yeah. But he's a super cool guy. And, I mean, it's not like I do anything to, wrong the name. I don't feel like it'll ever be an issue. If we do come across it, I'm sure there's something that could be worked out in terms. But, Boo is just a name. I'm kid's kid.
Facts. Well, yeah, I just feel like, over the last 5 years, it's definitely, you've seen, the Dragon Ball, Naruto, just that whole wave is, it's I just remember coming up, we would clown on a lot of those kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
and now I see some of the same. I'm 31.
Dude, the kids that used to clown on those kids and they would bully them and try to steal their Pokemon cards. I'd be the kid there beat the fuck out of them and be like, you get that nigga back his cards, bro. I didn't like that because I was bullied, and then I was bullied for having cool clothes and I didn't know how to fight. So 5th grade, I was getting my ass jumped after school for having cool shit. I remember cool clothes, they just beat the fuck out of me, just hating. And I started learning martial arts, and then when I got to junior high, I was I could help protect other kids fucking heroes and vigilante. So I go to the hallways and shit, beat people.
Which martial arts?
Jeet Kune Do, the Chinese kung fu.
Word up.
Hey, let me ask you last thing. What nationality are you?
Sicilian and Puerto Rican.
Sicilian and damn.
Yeah. Those are the 2 genes that are in that.
The topic of the N-word always comes up. How do you feel comfortable with it? What's the origin of that? What's your thoughts on that?
That shit commonly used, especially in South Florida. When you legit, your parents would be like, "Nigga, put your seatbelt on." You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. I'm desensitized from being any way offended by it. You know what I mean?
Well, not offended, but
Especially-
what about people who are offended that you use it?
I mean, lighten up, man. Like, lighten up. We were just talking about today about like that Gucci turtleneck.
Mm-hmm.